Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am gonna be talking to you guys a little bit. I felt like chatting, so this is gonna be a talkative video. I hope you guys like those. I am going to be telling you guys what my top 6, because I couldn't pick 5, best of the best high-end and drugstore foundations are. These are foundations that have been just like non-stop reaching for and what I go back to all the time. So these are going to be my, without a doubt, the best of the best foundations that I've chosen that I love the most of all of them in the world. So I hope you guys like those kinds of videos. You know how much I love foundation, so this is definitely gonna be a fun one for me to talk about at least. Before we get into it, please make sure to give this a thumbs up for me and subscribe to my channel. It means the absolute world to me. We are growing and it's really, really exciting. So please make sure to subscribe. But if you want to see what my top 6 favorite foundations ever are, then stay tuned for the rest of the video. Like I said, if you have been with me for a while, or if you've even just like scrolled through my videos to see what I post, I think you get a pretty good idea of the fact that I love foundation. Foundation is my absolute favorite makeup product of all of them. I just feel like foundation is really like what sets the tone for how you're gonna look the rest of the day. Of course, I know every piece of makeup plays into that, and every little piece of makeup has their own little pop that they add in, but foundation for some reason it just does something different for me. Like, I get the most excited when I'm talking about foundation, when I'm trying out new foundations. It's just like a sick obsession to me. So I thought I would share with you guys what my top 6 best of the best foundations that I love the most are. And I have kind of a variety. I have 4 higher end and then 2 drugstore ones. So I really tried to make it fair and pick from both categories because I do work Monday through Friday, and typically when I'm going to work, I'll put on a drugstore foundation most of the time. Sometimes I'll switch it up and I'll use one of my more expensive ones, but for the most part, I'm using drugstore foundations throughout the week because they're inexpensive and I go through them like crazy because I'm working 5 days a week. So I want to make sure that I added in those because I do have 2 absolute favorites that I just keep going back to. No matter what drugstore foundation I try, these 2 just always end up being used again and again and again. So I'm really excited to give you guys an idea of what those are. I think I want to start with the drugstore one since we're already on that topic, and then I'll move into the more high-end foundations too. Yeah, let's talk about foundation. So the first one, I have them like in a nice little row for you guys. The first one that I want to talk about is the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth foundation. I know the matte and poreless is like everybody and their mom's favorite foundation because it's really, really beautiful. But if you guys, like I said, have been with me for a while, you know that I am a sucker for a dewy, glowy vibe foundation. I'm not a huge matte foundation person. I just love to have like a glow to my skin, you know? Like, I don't like it when I feel like my face is looking kind of flat. And I know like highlighter and stuff can fix that, just highlight whatever area you want to. But I just love a good dewy foundation. I am weak for like natural radiant dewy foundations. It's my weakness. So this to me personally, is better than the matte and poreless. It just, what it does for your skin is so beautiful. I always get complimented when I'm wearing this, and it's so easy to apply, you guys. Like, it literally goes on like butter. The only thing I don't like about this is this. You know what I'm talking about. I hate this. Like, this is so messy. If this had a pump, it would be literally perfect. I'd have not a single thing to say about it that's bad, but I hate that there's no pump or anything to make it less messy because I'm very clumsy. So it's very easy for me to drop something like this and then spill it all over myself and the floor, and it's just not cute. So that's the only thing I don't like. But if you love a foundation that is dewy, makes your skin look just smooth and flawless, this is a very good one. But this does say that it's for normal to dry skin, and that is my skin type. So if you're like a more combination to oily skin type, maybe the Matte and Poreless is a better choice. But just this foundation in general is just beautiful. The next drugstore foundation that I'm gonna talk about, it comes in very close. Like, I don't know which one I like more out of these two, because like I said, throughout the week, I typically just wear these two when I'm going to work, and I switch off between the two a lot. So there's not really one that I grab for more than the other. It just kind of depends on the day, honestly, like how I'm feeling that day. If I'm feeling like grabbing this, if I'm feeling like grabbing that. It's not like a specific reasoning though, because they're both pretty similar, honestly. Like, they're both that kind of like glowy finish foundation. The next foundation that I'm going to talk about is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow foundation, and I think there's a matte version of this too. I just haven't tried it. But this is the Pro Glow. It is a radiant finish, so of course I love it a lot. It is supposed to be like really, really long wear. It says up to 24 hours. I personally have not tested whether or not this stays on for 24 hours, but I can tell you that it lasts at least 8 or 9 hours, because that's typically how long I'm at work for, and then when I come home I just take it off right away. So about 8 to 9 to 10 hours it does wear really well, which is another reason that I really like it, especially because now we have to wear masks everywhere. And I don't know if it's just me, but even when I powder my face and everything, I still have makeup coming off on the mask, especially if I'm wearing it for a longer period of time. And then it all comes off like right in this area, especially like my nose and my chin. It's just like, it disappears. And with this, I feel like it doesn't do that. So I really, really like that about it. And I love the applicator on this. Like, it's like a little squeezy thing. Sometimes I squeeze out a little bit too much. It goes a little crazy, but for the most part, it's really easy, really foolproof, and it looks stunning. I'm not even kidding. Like, these two foundations are, I can't say enough good things, you guys. If you're like me and you love like a more kind of radiant, glowy complexion, and you like drugstore foundations, these two are the two for you. I'm telling you, thank me later. They're just amazing. That's all I have to say about those two though. The next ones, now we're getting into the more high end. I don't have like one specific favorite foundation, but I do have one specific foundation that I always have to wear when I'm going somewhere really special. Like, if I'm going to like an event, obviously not now because of everything, but if I were going to like a wedding or like a party of some kind, something special, like a special day, I always have to wear this foundation, even if it's paired with another one. So I guess you could consider that my favorite. So I'm gonna save that for last. But now I'm not going in any particular order. So the first one that I'm grabbing is the Rare Beauty foundation. This is so good, you guys, and the price on this is amazing too. It's like in the 30s. I think it's like $35. I'm linking all of these below too, so if you want to check on pricing, then you can check in the description box. But this, I was so surprised, you guys, at how good this foundation is. Selena Gomez did such an amazing job with formulating this foundation and just with packaging and everything. This is just like an out of this world foundation. I can't even stress enough how much I've been loving this and using this and recommending it to people, because it's just, it gives you the most amazing complexion. And this applicator, so easy to use on your face. You literally just like paint it on and then use a brush or a beauty blender, and it blends so freaking seamlessly. It's insane. A really runny foundation, but in the best way. And it's like that perfect medium coverage. It gives you this really pretty, like natural but glowy kind of look. This is not a matte foundation. But just everything about this, like I feel like this is super travel friendly too, because it's not glass. I feel like nothing would come out of this too crazy easily. And the packaging is adorable. Like, I love everything about this, and I've been using it so much since I discovered it. This is my only foundation in this pile that is like very, very new to me. This I tried maybe a few months ago, and I've just been obsessed ever since. Like, I won't stop. I can't stop. I just love it so much. The next one I want to talk about is an OG foundation, and that is the Dior Skin Airflash foundation. If you know, you know, guys. This is pretty much in everybody's top favorites because it does wonders for your skin. And it's very unique too, because you don't see many like spray foundations out there at all. And a lot of times when you hear something like that, you're like, that's a terrible idea. That's not gonna work. It's gonna get all over the place, not cute. But no, this blows me out of the water a million times over. For me personally, I don't like spray it directly onto my face. Sometimes I will, but most of the time I'll either spray it onto my beauty blender or like spray it onto the back of my hand and then dip my beauty blender in there and then work it off that way. And it looks absolutely flawless. Every time I've worn this and taken pictures, my skin has literally looked like a doll, like literally airbrushed. It's just so amazing, and I love the concept of this. Just everything about it. You can't go wrong with this. I know it's a little bit more up there in price, but it's 100% worth the money if you ask me, because it delivers for sure. The next one that we're talking about, we're getting down to the wire, guys. The next one is the Tom Ford Traceless Stick Foundation. I am so close to running out of this. I'm like, this is the end for me. And I'm literally like wanting to cry because it's very expensive, but I need this in my life. Like, I can't run out of this. I won't let myself ever run out of this. This is like $88, you guys. It's insanely expensive, but so beyond worth the money. Like, so worth the money. It gives you the absolute perfect finish. Same thing, natural to kind of radiant finish. And it has like the perfect medium coverage, which is exactly what I look for in a foundation. It is the perfect shade and undertone for me. This is one of the best color matches I've ever had with a foundation for my complexion. It just looks so perfect every time, and I never feel like I have to like work any other products a certain way to make it blend into my skin better. It just is so perfect in every way, shape, and form. And this is one of the only stick foundations that I've found to perform this well. Typically, I stay away from stick foundations because they're a little bit thicker and a little bit harder to work with. I just like the feeling of a liquid more, but this is a whole different story. It's just like the softest, smoothest, thinnest, yet still medium coverage stick foundation. And this packaging is beautiful. I love Tom Ford packaging on everything, so this is just amazing. Never fails me. I always know I'm gonna have a good makeup day when I put that on, so yes. But the last foundation, and I'm sure that a lot of you can guess what it is because it's a lot of people's favorite foundation, but this is the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. This is one of those foundations that you literally can't go wrong with. Like, you know, if you're buying this, that it's gonna work and your skin is gonna look good and you're gonna look good for wherever you're going or whatever you're doing. This is just like a really foolproof foundation. I feel like so many people have tried this and it's been good to so many people that you just know you're gonna enjoy it. I would be shocked if somebody didn't like this, to be honest. It's just so beautiful. Like, this packaging, so beautiful. I love the frosted glass. I love the pump. I did make a little bit of a mess out of it, but it's not really messy, to be honest. It comes on so smooth and it always just makes my skin look so perfect. And this is always the one that I grab for whenever I have something special that I'm going to or doing. Even when I want to wear a different foundation for something, I'll put this on top of it. Like not too long ago, I did the Tom Ford Stick Foundation, but I wanted to give it like that extra little, so I did this on top of it. Like I paired these two together and it was the most beautiful combo ever. My skin was flawless. It's just been so good to me. It's been a real one for me, you guys. This is just, it's an amazing foundation. And if you've been thinking about it, but you were kind of on the fence, listen to me, go get it, and then thank me later because you will not be disappointed. I promise you, this foundation, if there's one foundation that will not disappoint you, it's this. But be in mind, like I said before, my skin type is normal to dry. If you have a similar skin type to mine, then it's probably a more likely chance that these are gonna be good choices for you. But as far as combination to oily skin types, maybe it's not gonna be the same result, but my sister has more oily skin and she uses this and loves it as well. So if that's any consolation, those are the 6 foundations that I had that are my favorite of all favorites. I love foundation so much. I love talking about foundation. I love trying it. I love using it. I love playing with it. I just love everything about it. So it was a really exciting time just talking to you guys about what was my favorite and kind of why it was my favorite. These are just my ride or dies. I would recommend these a million times over. You can't convince me otherwise. There's just too much to love about them. So that's all I have to say, I think. If I'm missing anything though, comment. Let me know if you're curious about anything with these foundations and I'm more than happy to answer. I've used and abused them enough to where I think I have the answers for you. So let me know what you're thinking or just comment and say hello. I love hearing from you guys, so make sure to do that. But also give me a big thumbs up, pretty please. Share with your friends and please subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me. But stay tuned and I will see you in the next video.